Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to ditch the textbook for a bit. We're talking about taking all that English you've learned, all those rules in your head, and actually using them in confident, real-life conversations. All right, let's jump right in. You know this feeling, right? You've got the grammar down, you know the vocabulary, but the second you have to speak to a real person, you freeze up. It's maybe the biggest frustration for anyone learning a language, and it's exactly what we're going to tackle today. So first, let's just get one thing straight. We have to change the goal. We get so hung up on being perfect, on not making a single mistake. But really, the whole point of a conversation isn't to get a perfect score. It's to connect with someone. The moment you start believing that, a whole lot of that pressure just melts away. So our first stop is all about getting beyond the textbook. We've all got the theory down, but this is where we start turning all that knowledge into actual practice. And this is really what it's all about. It's not about memorizing dictionaries. It's about feeling confident ordering a coffee or asking someone for directions or just having a simple chat. Think of this explainer as your roadmap, to finally bridge that gap and silence that little voice of anxiety that holds you back. Okay, so if you're going on a journey, you need the right tools. That brings us to our next section, your conversational toolkit. We're going to build the set of essential skills you'll need for pretty much any English conversation you can think of. I just love this term, cultural lubricant. It nails what small talk really is. It's not just pointless chatter about the weather. No, it's this super important social ritual. It's how we kind of test the waters with someone, find some common ground, and lay the groundwork for a real conversation. In a lot of English-speaking places, if you skip it, you can come off as kind of cold or just not interested. So how do you do it? Well, it's way simpler than you might think. First, just find a safe topic. The weather is a classic for a reason. It always works. Then, and this is the most important part, ask follow-up questions. It shows you're actually listening. And finally, you've got to know how to end it. A simple, well, it's been nice talking to you, is the perfect, polite escape hatch. All right, so we've got our toolkit. Now it's time to head out into the real world. Think of these common situations as your own personal practice arenas, places where you can go to really build up that confidence. Let's start with a classic, dining out. It's a situation we all find ourselves in. The secret is just having a few go-to phrases ready. To order, a simple, I'll have the pasta, please, is perfect. Need to make a change? Can I get this without onions? Works every time. And when you're done, could we get the check, please? Honestly, just having these in your back pocket takes away so much of the stress. But here's the real secret. It's not about memorizing a script like an actor. It's about understanding the flow of it all. It's a dance. Inquiry, information, follow-up. You ask a question, they give you an answer, you ask another question based on that answer. That's why your real superpower isn't your memory, it's your ability to actively listen. Okay, so you've learned the words, you understand the flow, but that's only half the battle. To really be fluent, you've got to understand the unwritten rules. You have to crack the cultural code. Just think about it. What you don't say, what you do with your hands, your eyes, how you stand, can sometimes say more than your actual words. It's this whole invisible language that changes from culture to culture. And if you get it wrong, it can cause huge misunderstandings, even if your grammar is absolutely perfect. For example, in the US, people tend to be really direct. They'll just say, I disagree with you. But in the UK, communication is often way more indirect. A British person might say the exact same thing, but it'll sound like, that's a very interesting perspective. Knowing that difference is absolutely crucial. And of course, let's be real, the English-speaking world is not one big country. The vocabulary can be totally different. If you ask for the subway in London, you're going to end up in a walkway under a road. What you wanted was the tube. These little details make a huge difference. Here's a number I want you to remember. 2 feet. That's about an arm's length. And that's pretty much the accepted personal space bubble in the US when you're talking to a stranger. If you get any closer, it can feel a little intense. It's another one of those invisible rules. So, section 5. How do you actually put all of this together and keep getting better? Let's talk about your personal training plan to build and maintain real conversational fluency. The only way to get better is to practice, consistently and in different ways. Role-playing is awesome for building confidence for specific events, like a job interview. AI tutors give you a safe space to get feedback without feeling judged. Recording yourself, and yeah, it feels a little weird at first, is so powerful for spotting your own habits. And online communities, they give you endless chances to just talk to real people. But the real magic happens when you mix these things together. It's synergistic. One method builds your confidence, another sharpens your accuracy, a third helps you be more spontaneous. When you combine them, you're not just learning lines, you're building a really strong, flexible skill set that works in any situation. And please always remember this. Don't ever think a conversation is too small to matter. Ordering a coffee, asking a quick question in a shop, a 2-minute chat with a neighbor. Every single one is a stepping stone. Each interaction is a win, and it makes the next one just a little bit easier. So we've covered the tools, the practice arenas, the cultural code, and the training plan. The only thing left is to take that first step. This whole journey to conversational fluency doesn't start next month or next week. It starts right now. So I'll just leave you with this one question. What conversation are you going to have today?